Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Graceful Parenting. I'm Reid Hillen. That's Josh Thames. And today we're going to workshop some ideas we've got, some things we're thinking about, really just one idea specifically, which is talking through a parent tool to help build alignment in times of stress, is the way I'm thinking about it. So we're going to kind of talk through this idea, how it came about, and then try to workshop something that might actually help you, and then hopefully have something that we can put on our Instagram and stuff with links that you can access. So yeah,
That'd be fun.
Josh, what do you think about it?
The first thing I think is when we first started this podcast, we were thinking we just wanted to have organic conversations. And this is what that is.
Yep.
I think we really are.
That's
So that's the
organic.
thing too, for the listener in the world. Like the thing that we would want you guys to know is that we've been thinking through this idea for a while, and in a lot of ways, the way that Reid and I have thought about graceful parenting, and we think about even the tenets of it, is that we feel like we're discovering it, right? Like we feel like we're working through it as we go.
Yep.
And like we have some understanding, we feel led. We actually Marco Polo. If you guys use Marco Polo, we use it often and kind of go back and forth with stuff. And so here's one of the things. One of the things that we feel really strongly about is really developing this idea around alignment and how to make it practical and make it real, right? Because if we're going to show belonging all the time, we really want to avoid reacting through fear and reacting through need. And then like the tool that we're going to use to be able to help parent and develop the behavior modification and connection and show belonging, yada yada yada. One of the tools that we've been talking about a lot is alignment. And so this is a great idea, and I think it's like hard to figure out how to actually practically do it. And so the question, Reid, that we're trying to like really figure out is, what is something that we can give parents that is helpful to create alignment and to help our kids, especially in moments where they're like emotionally dysregulated or frustrated or misbehaving or disrespectful or like kind of whatever kind of like thing we want to say right then. And I think that's a worthy thing to consider, because it's a cool idea, but the times it matters is when it's really hard to parent. So Reid, as you're thinking about these moments that we need alignment, those are the moments that are kind of the hardest to like kind of self-regulate, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And this idea came to me, and then I almost forgot it. I was sending a Marco Polo to you,
Oh yeah.
and I was driving, so I didn't send it while I was driving. So then I waited to where I got, and by the time I got there, I'd started recording, and I literally opened the Marco Polo with like, "Oh no, I forgot it." Because my brain doesn't always hold things like I want it to, And then so I just
I do
talked
that.
for a while. It was like this 3-minute, basically vacant Marco Polo of me saying random things to try to like reconnect to what the idea was. And and the idea is like, well, we say we don't give advice, and we don't give advice, but we can.
But
But what's a tool?
yeah.
Because we're giving advice, we're not here to tell you what to do. But I do think that having tools to help navigate difficult moments is really good and really helpful. And so, yeah, and the idea, the phrase that's in my mind right now is it takes time. It
Mm.
takes time, and that's kind of like the backdrop behind the whole thing in my head, is that in those moments when it gets very like high anxiety, high emotion, intensity, the idea that it takes time is important as the adult to remember
Yeah.
that like it doesn't have to be solved now.
Right.
I don't have to come to a final moment for it to be good or useful. And that it might take a long time or time in general for this thing, whatever this idea is, whatever this moment is,
Yeah.
to come to some sort of resolution or management. But in it, I can still be intentional and caring and grace-filled and aligned. So I sent that in the Marco Polo, and that's how we kind of got here. It doesn't have to be an acronym, but acronyms are good, especially in high stress
Love an
moments,
acronym.
right? So like what let's toss some stuff around.
Well, I think primarily what I hear you saying when you talk
Yeah.
about like it takes time. I hear not reacting through fear and not reacting through need and not reacting through our emotion all wrapped up inside of that, right?
Right.
And I also hear you saying slow down.
Yep.
right? It's okay. It's okay that we're not going at breakneck speed. It's okay. And this
Mm.
is, I think, a difficult thing for parents at times. Difficult for me, for sure,
Yeah.
is when my kid is not reacting in the way I need him to react, or would prefer him to react, or really want him to react, that this is going to take time. And it's okay. Like, I don't have to be like, so like, oh my gosh, this has to be fixed this minute.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, first of all, something we have to remember. So I think the thing I would say is like the first part of this is we got to get our emotions and our central nervous system like kind of out of our way so we can begin to think about how we want to respond through purpose and through belonging,
Yeah.
right? And like
Yeah.
so I think what I always kind of like really want to stop and say in every one of these moments, Reed, is that like this this is what we want. And this is not like
Mm.
from a human reaction when our kid is yelling at us or saying ridiculous things to us or really showing like really kind of like letting it go emotionally, like our like initial reaction is to defend ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if we recognize that we don't want that to be our response all the time, so we want to have purpose and intention, then we got to figure out how to not let those reactions be first. And it takes time to cultivate that, but I think it's worth talking. So I think the first thing we have to do is we have to slow down and we have to calm ourselves and not let our like kind of emotional central nervous system reaction be what comes towards them. Does that feel right?
And you're the therapist, but I think so. I think that sounds good. That sounds like a right idea to me. If I'm not gonna, if I'm going away from dominating, I'm gonna meet you there and then exceed yours because I'm so much bigger and stronger than you.
Yeah,
And instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna meet you with a different way of being.
right. Well,
Uh,
Dr. Becky uses the term sturdiness, right?
yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So sturdiness. Yeah. So words like
Right.
wait, that could be an easy acronym word.
Right.
Slow. Um, Wait feels easy because it's a W at the beginning. So it could be like a what are you feeling, right? Because
Yeah.
I've got to know what's going on in me to be able to be helpful for you.
Yeah. What am I feeling, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I don't know what I'm feeling, we're in trouble. If
Yeah.
I lose it in that moment and I'm like out, if I'm acting out like not aware of what's going on,
Yeah.
all bets are off.
Right.
At least in my experience. Maybe everybody that listens is way better parent than me. You probably are. And way more aware of your of
Way
yourself.
more. Yeah,
But
for sure.
there's nobody that can make me madder than a 7-year-old in my own house.
Yeah. I feel that so strongly. Dude, I like Jonas, like especially as a 7-year-old. I'm telling you, he turned 10 and like there is this moment where you're like, wait, are you like a person? Are you like managing yourself? And it's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 7-year old, just like fiery reaction to moments like anything that I don't want, anything that doesn't go my way. Talk about like triggers.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay,
So what are you
so
feeling? What am I feeling? Are they safe? That could be a second question. Are they safe in this space? Like, am I needing to protect them physically?
yeah. I think one of the places that I always start here is with the people I work with most often, which is parents of ADHDers and
Yeah.
ADHDers themselves. And one of the things about ADHD is that kiddos really struggle to manage emotions and regulate emotion because they're so impulsive and because
Mhm.
their like emotional regulators aren't as developed as their peers, right? And so one of the things that we talk about as a tool for parents in those moments is affective calm, like
Yeah.
AFFECT,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So my affect is calm, and like the reason for that is this, and I think this is true for all parents. And I know it's been true for me with Joe, who is a major ADHDer, but I'm wondering if this would be something that we can cultivate for all parents. The reason why it's so significant is because basically what it shows is authority, right?
Mm.
It shows calmness, and it shows I'm in control of myself and in control of the scenario, and the way that you're trying to control it will not be like you cannot do it through your emotion and your insanity,
Yeah.
right? So I'm
Mm.
okay. Again, sturdiness. I'm okay. I'm calm. I know that you are acting insane right now, and I'm an adult, so I can manage it. And I'm telling you that I'm calm. I need you to be calm, and I need you to be forward. This is
Yeah.
a cool way of thinking, but it's like it's a really, really effective tool
Yeah.
inside of the belt.
So what are some things? Because in those moments, I find myself having a hard time coming up with the right phrases to say.
Yeah.
Like if I because if I'm affecting calm, it means I'm not actually feeling calm.
Right.
And right, so
Right.
like my executive functioning might be shutting down a little bit too. Of like, what are the things I want to say right now?
Right.
Um, like like is it as simple as saying like I'm going to leave the room for a second? I'll be right back.
Dude, we literally have in one of my like in my workshops, we have the get out of the room method.
Mm.
I believe in it so furtively for especially
Yeah.
kids with ADHD
Yeah.
because like, and I think anybody that's emotionally dysregulated because they'll just keep going up and up and up. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what we do is we have effective calm, we give them a choice to make, and then we get out of the room,
Mm.
right? Instead of trying to like really get upset about the fact that they're not making that choice,
Yeah.
like it helps that person recognize this is the choice I have to make, and instead of like having someone to go back and forth, I can just exit. So I think what I really want this person, I want the kid to be able to do, and this is going to be different at various ages.
Right.
Is I want them. I need you to be calm. I don't need you to make. I don't need everything to work out perfectly. I don't need you to stop being having emotions, but I need you to calm. So if I'm not calm, he's got no shot.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
the thought process. Is like I got to be calm first, and then I have
Right.
to direct him towards calmness.
Yeah. Yeah. So stepping out to gather yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And even if it's like, sometimes I've had moments where I'm like, I got to walk out of the room and breathe. But sometimes, even in moments where I don't necessarily need to get out of the room, but I do need to take a deep breath,
Mm.
right? I do need to slow down and,
Yeah.
okay, hang on. What am I doing here? What's my end goal? What's my purpose?
Yeah.
What am I trying to
Yeah.
say? And the goal for this moment usually needs to be, I need you to calm.
Mm.
And then after you calm, I need you to make this choice. And then we can begin to manage whatever's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, this is a really easy thing to say. Pretty tough to do, man.
Real tough to do for sure. And that's why it's important. Because if we're going to have alignment, alignment's only as useful as it is in those stressful moments.
Right,
It's
that's right.
only as useful as it is. I'm not just saying that, whatever. It's
Yeah,
only as helpful
yeah,
uh, as it's able to be employed in those moments that are high intensity.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Slowing down,
Yeah.
asking myself, what am I feeling? Finding effective calmness so that
Mm.
I can then my kiddo has a chance to be calm,
Mm.
right? Whatever that takes, that's walking in the room for a second, if it's breathing, if it's taking a sip of a drink, whatever. And then asking them to say, hey, I want to hear what you're saying. I need you to calm first, right? So
Yeah.
I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to
Mm.
understand, but I can't hear while you're screaming or while you're upset or while you're
Right.
saying those words, while we're throwing things, while we're demanding. I can't hear that.
Yeah.
So I will be able to hear it when you're calm and you ask me dot 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 or whenever that happens. So I think that's the other thing too, Reed, that I think is so significant, at least from the ADHD side, and I think every kid that's struggling emotionally, is that you like as an adult, we can give them the choice to make, right? And it needs to be concrete and it needs to be easy for them to know how to do it.
Mm.
I wonder if that makes sense.
Yeah. Without a concrete option, there's nothing to land on.
Right.
Um, like this is an image that just came to my mind. It's like a helicopter being out in a above a forest, like with nowhere to come down.
Right. Right.
Like there has to be a helicopter pad to come back down on, and
Right. So
without it,
even if
like
I want to
we're
land.
gonna be landing in a dangerous zone.
Right.
Those blades are gonna it's gonna get caught up in them trees. Like
Right.
we need a place to bring this thing down, and the
Yes.
concrete option, even if it's not the perfect option, doesn't actually matter. I don't think.
Yeah.
And I'm just making crap up because I'm not a therapist. And
No,
that's
I think
part
it's
of,
exactly
and I
right. I
think
think
that's
what you're
part of it.
saying.
Sometimes as a parent, sorry, I'm really going now.
Go ahead.
Sometimes as
Go.
a parent, I feel like I have to be a therapist for my kid. I don't.
That's right.
I'm not trained to be a therapist.
Don't have
Josh
to be
is,
a
which is
therapist.
great, but I'm not. And so like when I'm with my child in those moments, my best is good enough.
That's exactly right.
And like
Oh,
keeping them safe physically, letting them know I love them in this moment too is like a great feat. And to be calm and sturdy in that moment, I think is just like so worth it. And giving that concrete landing pad is an endeavor, even if it's again not the perfect one, is a good one.
oh man, I think you're exactly right. Also, I don't need to be a therapist to my kid, right? In those
Yeah,
moments, especially, he needs a dad,
that's
right? He
right.
needs a mom. And
Yeah,
so, what I need to be is the one in charge, not the one vying for in charge. And I think that's
yeah,
what I would offer people. And like, I had to go through this journey too with my
mm,
son. I had to figure out that like what I thought authoritative was being louder and be more intense than he was, and
yeah,
what he could always match it. He could always match it. As a matter of
yeah,
fact, it was like, oh, I know what to do there. I have that tool in my belt,
yeah,
right? I
yeah,
can go, right? And so what I realized is what helps him in this moment is if I can find calm and then I can find a decision for him. I think that
yeah,
metaphor is perfect, dude. About
yeah,
like I'm finding like so I even actually want to land right now. I just don't know how. Right?
mm,
Like I'm hearing
yeah,
you. I would like to land where? And then you tell him, look, I need you to be calm I need you to have a calm voice. And then the next thing I need you to do is, and like literally, there's so many things that can help people ground, but it like mostly it's just a very concrete option. And I
Mm.
want to hear like even a 17-year-old that's super elevated, right? Like just being like, hey, I want to listen. I need you to calm, and I need you first to sit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Right.
Just sit.
Yeah.
And like, or I need you to take a sip of that apple juice if you're 7. Do you know what I'm saying? I just
Yeah.
need you just a thing to do. So then you have a thing to do, and then we can like lean into calm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is, I think we just entered into a bigger conversation, which what keeps happening on this podcast, which is what I love about it,
so
is that we
great.
keep like, it's like we accidentally open the door to the next thing. Oh, I think this is the next step of graceful parenting.
Yeah,
Is like, and I also, I'm running out of time because I need to go get dinner from school. The fact, what you said, I think is really impactful for me because sometimes I mistake my job as a parent and I think I'm supposed to be a therapist for my child. And
right.
I sometimes get it twisted. And I can't, I don't want to like identify it as saying why that happens, but I think it happens for me.
Yeah,
And, and so the freedom to know, no, like I need to be his dad.
right.
And
That's what it needs.
that's my job. We can
Right,
get it. We can get him a real therapist if
right,
we need to go to therapy. Great, let's go to therapy. But I need to be his dad, and I need
right.
a grounding, safe presence to hold him and to love him in this
Mhm.
through this is my job.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear from people the acronym that you heard at home. Like what acronym captures that conversation? Like what's something
Sure.
that you heard that we can put into an acronym to easily put into a doc?
2 things about this. Number one, I love that we're
Document.
crowd surfing. Secondly, we're gonna trademark it and we're gonna make a lot of money off of it. So
So
just
much
be
money.
aware.
Yeah, be aware.
Just be aware that
We won't get any. No
we're just gonna
cuts.
take it. Right.
That's how we live our
Um,
life.
that's right. It's floating out there though, friends. That acronym's out there. Let us find it for us.
So
Find it.
good. Oh man, that was fun. Okay, we'll do more of that. I like that.
Let's do that again.
Let's do that again. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Reed.